Hi everyone! For our next lesson we are going to be talking about pattern making, watercolor resists, and we're going to be reading a few winter stories. So today you're going to get a piece of paper that has this hat shape traced on it all ready for you, and we're going to start with oil pastels. And oil pastels are very similar to crayons, except they're really super soft. So you're going to pick whatever color you want to begin with. And the first part of the hat is down here, and this is the part of the hat that you pull down on your head. And I'm going to start from this point, and I'm going to go over here and just make a line across. And after that, I'm going to make some straight lines coming down, and hopefully you can see in the camera here how nice and soft these are. The color is nice and dark. Now this line didn't show up really dark enough to my liking, so you can always go over it to make it a little bit darker. So this is the first place we'll start. After that, we're going to start working on the hat part, and this is where we're going to talk of patterns. So again, choose a color that you like. I'm using red, and the first thing is I'm just going to make a line from this side all the way over here. So I'm going to come over here, and you can see that's pretty wide here. It gives me a lot of space to make my pattern. Now I'm going to start I'm going to make a zigzag line. And it's one of my favorite lines. So I'm just going to go up to the ceiling, down to the basement or the bottom line. I want to touch the top, down to the bottom, up to the top, down to the bottom. Now just because I used a zigzag line to start with, it doesn't mean that you have to. I'm just showing you how to get started. Now I'm going to thicken this line up a bit, so I'm going to go over my zigzag line to make that line a little wider. Again, my lesson videos are really to help you see how to get started. I don't want you to copy what I'm doing. I just want you to know how to begin. All right, now I'm going to choose, I've already gone ahead and chosen another color that I know goes with red, and I'm going to color the inside of these triangles with my pink. And I want to color dark enough where I don't see the white paper underneath. Okay, so now I'm ready to go on to my next band of color. And again, picking a color that you like, and going from this side and stretch it across to that side, coming up with a whole different pattern. Now you might want to use just one color, or you might want to use a couple colors like I did here. So for this one, I'm just going to use a diagonal line. And I can add a second color in between if I want. I'm going to leave this one, but you're going to fill it all the way up to the top. You're not going to do anything with the ball. So I have already gone ahead and finished one. And now what you're going to do is you're going to get some watercolors. And I will have a tray of watercolors for you, and water and a paintbrush. You're first going to just place plain old water in each color to activate the watercolors. And again, the colors that you choose to use are your choice. So I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to go with a blue. And I'm just going to paint a blue. Now this is the resist part. And watercolor, of course, is water and pigment. And your oil pastels are waxy. So the watercolor pulls away from the color, the oil pastel that you've used, so it won't paint on, change the color of that oil pastel. All right, once I do that, I can clean my brush, maybe switch colors. Now I could have had my hat all blue if that's what I felt, but again, these are choices that you're making. Clean it. You want to make sure that you clean your brush each time you change colors, because you don't want to mess up or dirty the color that you're using. It's also okay if you go outside the line, because at some point we will be cutting this out. All right, I'm almost done. See, you can see how that watercolor paint beads up here. It's not going to stay on top of that oil pastel. All right, so mine is done, and the next time I'm going to tell you what you're going to do with the round circle portion of your hat, and then we'll cut it out. Have fun!